Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley's loosening up the tie. He's getting ready for the weekend. Off to the corner that thing goes, and
Finally,
free. Look at you. You're ready to punch out for the weekend.
I'm
Big
ready.
weekend coming up. What you got planned for the weekend? Anything exciting?
Well, tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, my friend.
Well, that's excitement right there.
Got to get myself a sombrero and a little Speedy Gonzalez kerchief.
Is that right? Well, very nice.
Yeah.
See, tomorrow for me is a little
tequila
different.
action.
Yeah. Tomorrow's my nephew's wedding.
Oh, cool.
And to think that it seems like 2-3 weeks ago the kid was born, and tomorrow he's getting married.
Oh man, isn't that crazy?
Dude.
I mean, I got my oldest nephew just turned 37.
Wow.
That just blows me away.
Unbelievable.
These kids are just. I mean,
don't
Max
blink.
was a zygote like yesterday, and
I know.
8.
Don't blink, man. It's just and you know, the older you get, the faster it goes.
Yes. Oh, no question. It's just I want to just stop and slow everything down and just enjoy it.
You know what?
Because it's moving too quick.
Excuse me. You know, when you do what we do, as long as we have, songs start to mean things to you.
Yeah.
You know what song? Every time that it comes on, it just resonates. Time Stands Still by Rush. You know that song's Time Stands Still?
I get, yeah.
Freeze this moment just a little bit longer. All I want is just this, just cool it for a second. Because it just goes by so fast. Yeah,
I've been in a really nostalgic mood. I don't know what it is. I don't know if part of it might be the fact that Lauren only has like a week left here.
Oh, I know, right?
And I realized that I'm the last, because we had Hallie Vogel. I was here when Hallie was here, and then she was gone off to Detroit. Francis left.
Yeah.
And now Lauren's gone, and I'm like the last one left.
Wow. Look at you.
So I've actually been on YouTube looking at the old ABC promos from like the 1980s.
Yeah.
And like Kathy Lee Crosby, and then Joni and Chachi, and the Fonz,
you haven't been
Hal
there that
Linden,
long,
and Barney Miller, Three's Company, all that. It was just, and then I stopped and go, my God, that was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And I can't even. When I was a kid, when you're a kid, and you're like 8 or 9 years old, and you can't conceive of a decade.
Oh, I know.
And and then all of a sudden you blink and you're 46, and it's just amazing.
Yep.
It's just
too fast.
Just way cruising. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I don't fear aging at all. I've loved every decade. Yeah. I really have. I can honestly say I've been blessed beyond belief. It's been great, but it's just, and it happens to everybody, but you don't think it's going to happen. It's for whatever reason, you think, it's not going to be you. You're not going to be 46 years old, and you wake up and there you are.
There you are.
It's amazing.
It works.
All right.
Well, what are we going to do? Some news here?
Yeah, let's get into it. I kind of glossed over this story the other day, and it was kind of a slow news day, so I thought I would this would be my big one. The 2 black men kicked out of a Philadelphia Starbucks for loitering reached a settlement. The city of Philadelphia agreed to pay Rashawn Nelson and Dante Robinson $1 each. The city also will donate $200,000 to a program supporting young entrepreneurs. So that's a good thing. But this story has just bugged me from day one, because I used to be really, really sensitive to anything regarding race when I was younger. And now everything turns into a racial issue, even when it may just be an overzealous employee. And the more I looked into this, the more like they didn't fire this manager. The manager was transferred. No history of anything, regarding bigotry or racism at all. But it's when in doubt, we assume racism, and that's a dangerous precedent to set. It's really, really dangerous. It's not good, and it really, really bugs me. I hate it.
I do too. I hate everything about racism, and I want to give you a different side of the coin, a different point of view. For a while there, I really thought we were getting better at it. I thought everybody was getting a little bit better at getting along, and I thought we had a little better decorum as far as the society goes, and I thought we were making some strides.
We have.
And I think that the table has turned. I think that we've taken some steps backwards when it comes to race relations and how people get along. And I don't think it's necessarily a black-white issue. I don't think it's necessarily I think it's an everybody issue. I think it's a problem from all directions.
Well, that's an interesting
I don't know
perspective.
the answer. What?
That's an interesting perspective that you're saying it's coming from all directions, and
It really is. I mean, the tolerance level of us as a society has taken 2 steps backwards.
I agree.
Point the finger where you want. I don't know. I don't care. But it certainly has not gone in the right direction in the last 5 years. What's the answer? I don't know. I wish that things would continue on in more of a peaceable and mutually beneficial thing, but I can't figure out for the life of me why we can't somehow find a way to get along better. There's an incident yesterday up in Fremont that sparked. Some kid got caught on video using the N-word. I'm just hearing about it this morning. I mean,
I don't even care. I don't care about that.
I do. I mean, it's so ingrained into our national story.
But it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Well, it does, because it's hurt this young person in Fremont. It's got them very upset, and it's just got them ashamed of being who they are. I mean, is that fair? Is that right? It shouldn't be. It's not that. I mean, I wish there was an answer. I wish there was an easy fix. What do you do? All I know is that everything I thought we were doing much better as far as people getting along, and it just seemed to have been a Band-Aid over it for a while, and it's just not there anymore. It got ripped off. The Band-Aid.
I think what we need to do is stop treating people as groups. Stop pretending everybody. Okay, if you're Latino, you think this way. If you're black, you think this way. If you're an Asian, you think this way. If you're a old white guy, you think this way. I think we need to start treating people as individuals and stop treating people as groups. It's ridiculous.
No.
This whole I belong to this group, so we feel this, or I'm speaking for this group of people. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And I actually do think we do get along better than we think we do. A lot of this is social media driven. It's the Twitter sphere. It's Facebook. It's the 24-hour news cycle. So I do think we do get along a lot better than we think, because every one of these stories gets blown up. An N-bomb gets dropped by some kid who doesn't know what he's saying. Maybe it's racially intended. Maybe he's just quoting a rap lyric. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not pretending I know. I'm not pretending to get into the heart and soul of this guy and tell you, this kid, and say, hey, he's a racist. I don't know.
Right.
But what I do know is we got to stop we've got to stop the group think and treat people as individuals, and not as you belong to this group, I belong to this group. You're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're a Libertarian, you're a white guy, you're a black guy, you're an Asian, you're Hispanic. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about labels. I don't care about groups. I care about how people treat each other one-on-one as individuals. That's it.
Well, I like that mindset, but it's going to be a while before we get to that.
Well, like I said, I just worry about how.
But do you agree though that for a while there it felt like things were getting along pretty good, and it just seems that things have taken a step back as far as relations go?
I do think people have gotten more tribal. I would say that. I think people have kind of gone off into their own little groups and divided themselves into groups. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest issue we're having, is we're not looking at each other as much as individuals. So you could be right. You could be right to an extent there. I do think in general, though, when we're dealing with each other one-on-one, we actually do get along. And that's where the focus, I think, needs to be. And I do think a lot of this stuff is blown out of proportion because of Twitter, because of Facebook, because of social media in general. That's really made it seem like more of a problem than it is.
But if you scale it right back to this one individual that it really does affect and does hurt, I don't think it's blown out of proportion when it comes down to hurting the one or two people.
Okay, you get your feelings hurt. Okay, I see. You get your feelings hurt. Everybody gets their feelings hurt at some point.
Think how you like. I'm just telling you that. These things are real. People get emotional damage from being treated this way.
I hate racism about as much as I hate anything. I'm being completely, totally honest and transparent. I hate it. But I also think people got to sack up. People got to become mentally tougher. People have got to, if you're a parent and you've got a kid who's hurt by something like that, you've got to have a talk and say, don't let somebody else control the way you feel about you. Okay? Don't give them that power, because that's what you're doing when you take stuff like that, you internalize it, and you can't somehow get over it. Because if you can't get over a name call, you've got a nightmare of a life ahead of you, because it's just going to, if you can't get over these little bumps and these hurdles, then you just can't survive. And a parent has got to come to that. I feel bad. I hate, because we were kids. We know how bad and crappy kids can be to each other. The idea of the innocence of youth is kind of a joke, because kids can be terrible. They can be awful. The most, hurtful things I ever heard. I heard on playgrounds. I heard on the back of a school bus. That was the worst behavior I ever really heard personally. But you still got to be able to overcome those things, or else you're not going to be able to deal with adulthood.
All right.
What else is going on?
We got some work to do. I know that.
Everybody just work on themselves, and we'll be good.
Sage advice from Dave.
I'm hopeful. All right. According to a new study, heavy drinking. We're talking about it's Cinco de Mayo coming up, so
right.
Get your ears perked up for this one. Heavy drinking could lead to gum disease. Ooh. Research finds that drinking alcohol in excess may give rise to strains of oral bacteria. I just hate that. The oral bacteria, it makes me make that face. There also may be a heightened risk of cancer and heart disease as well. It's just with anything you overindulge in can be bad. Like, I think the biggest problem I think Americans have is sugar intake. We consume way too much sugar, and we have a sugar addiction. I know I do. Yep. And that's why I've kind of tried to wean myself off a lot of that stuff, but it is hard. And it's like with anything, alcohol, you overindulge, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yep.
So
bad.
All things in moderation. Finally, Justin Jennings will remain as the superintendent of Muskegon Public Schools. A group of trustees asked Jennings to resign at a special meeting on Thursday. Now, the Board of Education voted 4-3 against Jennings' resignation. In a recent performance evaluation, Jennings was rated as a minimally effective. So I don't know. You're a little closer to this than I am.
I wish I knew more of the nuts and bolts of it. I don't know the skirmish. I really don't know everything that's going on with the whole thing. I know this. I want better. I want what's best for the kids there at that school.
Yeah,
that's what I want. And
you get.
I would hope that board and everybody involved in it can get everything in line and get it taken care of, because it's just those kids deserve the best education they can get.
Absolutely. And I like how the parents, I do like how the parents are raising their voices, are showing concern, because that's how you improve things. That's how you turn things around. That's how you make schools better.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the improvements Muskegon's seen in pretty much every area, and that's one that needs improvement, and will continue to improve. But it takes what you have, which is concerned parents, and I think agree or disagree with them. That's at least it's better than them not caring.
Right.
Without question. Sports, Cubs are off. Tigers 2-game winning streak snapped. the hands of the Kansas City Royals.
That's
10
all
to
right.
6.
Well, it was an off day. It was a
It was
little
an off day.
kind of hazy there at the park, so you can see. It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll get the 500. We're good.
It's not going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's going to be an off year.
Start polishing
Might
up
be an
that
off
20.
half decade.
And I don't want to checkmate out the cash either.
That's sports.
Have a great
Have a good
weekend.
weekend.